Good evening. Happy New Year. It's a beautiful New Year again, and I do hope you're having a beautiful time out there in your corner. Whatever it is, some people have said it's been very tough. Tough times never last though, but tough people eventually do. Tough people eventually override whatever circumstances, whatever storms, whatever challenges. And so just stay there, be strong, be tough. And before you know it, before the first quarter is over, you probably will be singing hallelujah. That's my prayer for you, even if that's not what's happening around you right now. So let your faith define your reality even before it comes. This evening, of course, you know that the program that's coming to you live now from KAFTANTV, the Abuja studios, is Matters Arising. And Matters Arising is the flagship talk show of KAFTANTV, which features in-depth analysis and dissections, if you like, of topical, trending, national and international issues by our team of seasoned broadcast journalists. My name still remains Dayo Omoogun, and I'm glad to be here.
My name is Mikki. Attah. Happy New Year. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
My name is Gabriel. Welcome to 2025.
All right. And so, as usual, we plan to give you a program that is incisive, that is conversational, and that you'll be glad that you are part of. And guess what? You also can be a part of this program, and by calling in, not just by watching, but by calling in when the phone line is made open. Of course, you know the phone number, most of you who are our regulars, but just in case there's someone who doesn't have it or who's tuning in for the very first time, the number is 08029938365. Of course, at the appropriate time, it will be put on the screen so that every one of us can contribute to building that dream Nigeria that we all have dreamed about. Tonight, of course, we'll be talking about one of those trending things. What's trending right now is that many individuals are making resolutions. But I think, and we think on the Matters Arising team, that beyond personal resolutions, we need national resolutions in order to set the agenda for the new year 2025. So, what agenda, if you were asked, what agenda would you want to set for Nigeria? One thing that is very dear to my heart in this 2025 for Nigeria is that we cut wastages. Nigeria is a country full of wastages, not just in money, but in time, for example. How many public holidays do we have? How much do people put in when they go to work? You go to work for an 8-hour period, but if you check critically, you find out that most Nigerians don't put in the work. Most Nigerians probably work for 3 hours of that 8-hour period. These are wastages. I mean, why should you buy or why should you allocate resources to something that you don't have a need for? This is a budget approval cycle. You already have a laptop, you have a desktop, and then you're still making provision for others for the same office, for the same desk. Why do we do these things to ourselves? And so I'm very concerned. I wish that we could take a resolution that we cut wastages. Why do we have to embark on foreign trainings when we can't even truly fund local trainings? And why should we have excessive expenditure on just white elephant projects? Why, for example, in a time like this, should we be investing so much money to set up a First Lady's office, an office that is not even recognized by the Constitution? We need to think. We need to get real serious with ourselves. This is not about bitterness. This is not being mean about any person. But look at it very critically. Do we need so much money to be pumped into an office that does not exist as far as the Constitution is concerned? I'm sure that I'm sure that my team members are also itching to get in on this, and so please, the floor's open, and let's get it on.
Well, you've said a lot, but if you ask me, my own resolution is just 2 or 3. 1, law and order. Law and order. Then 2, consequences if you break the law, and then reward if you do well. And the 3rd one, for the federal government, state government, and local government to achieve the sustainable development goal that Nigeria went to sign at the UN.
So what was the essence of signing if you did not plan
to execute or translate whatever idea it is to reality? Why did you go and sign? So law and order first. Yeah, you talk about wastage. If there is law and order, there will be no wastage.
Because there will be consequences.
Absolutely. If there is law and order, okay, this year you in the budget you put in laptop. Next year you put in, somebody will question you. What happened to
what happened
to the last desktop? What happened to the last table? What happens to all of these that we don't need? You see, they put cutleries, newspaper, meeting. I mean, come on, there are some certain things that if you see it or you read, you're like, are we really serious?
Are we serious?
So law and order first. We need it, because the way we break the law that we set by ourselves, it's so amazing that people take us, they don't even take us serious. The same people who go out, they obey order like they are with God. Yeah. I see them when we travel out, the way they behave, you like, is this the same Nigerian? Just common traffic lights. See the way we break it. Nobody cares. The minister, governor, whoever. So it means that the law, you see the police standing, he said he will do nothing. But just a common man will just pass, you see the way they will rush and block you. So it means that the law is, for different people. So law and order first. And then consequences. See, a friend told me, say, me, now potential thief I be. I am waiting to enter that office. Yeah.
Imagine
he was serious. He said, I'm only waiting to enter that office. I will steal anything that I can. So it means that those that are ready to steal are on the queue.
And they are more than those who are already stealing.
That are already stealing.
And the reason
is because there's no law and
no
order.
Consequence.
No consequences. So if I know that I take, okay, how did you buy 2 vehicles when your salary is not up to the amount to buy a motorcycle? No question, nothing. So we get away with it. So you see the young ones, they'll say, nobody this my yesterday. Now you don't build rice, don't buy motor. Okay now. So they want to do all they can to get into that office. Law and order.
Reward and consequences.
Reward and consequences.
And then fulfilling the SDG goals. That's what Gabriel is concerned about.
You know. It's pathetic that Nigeria up till today, come to Abuja for instance, the minister is busy demolishing houses or demolishing property. Is that all that the minister of Federal Capital Territory should do? What happens to other sectors? What happens to the rural roads? What happens to our educational system? SDG goal number 4 talks about quality education from primary to the university level. But go to FCT primary school. And that is why I don't know the policy, the educational policy they brought on board that suddenly turn around the public school. No teacher, no teaching aids, no infrastructure. In fact, everything about education, public school is dead. Then SDG goal number 3 talks about good health and well-being. Go to our hospital. Go to our hospital. What do you see there? It's an eyesore. Just common health center. Go there. Because I'm a community reporter, I see all of these things. Now they are talking about, we just celebrated Christmas and New Year. A lot of people could not travel. And those that travel could not, it was very, very key and important that they must embark on this journey. That was why they did. A friend whose brother is getting married, to and from his destination was going to cost him 100,000 naira on transportation. You know what Before me, he called his bride. Says, see, when I finish wedding, I will come visit you. But here is 50,000 naira. That is all I can have, because if I go, I won't give you money. So
and
why should I waste
ended
that
up
money?
spending 100,000 naira just on transport.
Transport.
Oh no.
So we celebrated as if what? No, we just do it. So SDG goal number 3, people are sick. The people at the rural community, of course, you see how people, because of poverty and hunger, SDG goal 1 and 2 talks about poverty and hunger. Common rights where people has been sharing. Look at the stampede. In the east, in the west, in the north.
And dying in the process.
And dying in the process. It means this poverty and hunger cuts across the nation. In fact, my mother called me because every year I used to raise food for people. I was scared. I said, I don't do when I, heard about that. Because before they will create another stampede and then they will come and arrest me. People are hungry. And that is the truth. People can't go to farm. Right? Now we say that Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Yet your people are hungry. Is that not insecurity on its own?
let Mikki weigh in at this point. Let Mikki
Oh
weigh
my
in.
goodness. Yeah. Let me just start by appreciating being on the first edition of Matters Arising for 2025.
Right.
Getting your tongue to always roll and say 25 instead of 24. By middle of the year, you get used to it. But for now, it's a bit of a twist. But this afternoon, when we sat brainstorming, I was really proud to be here, because this is one of the primary key objectives of the media, and that is setting the agenda. And people keep on saying how the media is remiss. It's you journalists, you don't do your work. Oh, you journalists, oh, you media. You understand? So here we are, firing at the top of our cylinders at the beginning of the year. So if we could set this agenda, then you can weigh in as time passes on and see, have they been able to, at any level, do anything that we have asked them to do? Because what is happening now for Nigerians is that it's the government giving to us what they want to do. You understand? So at the end, then we will resort to being sycophants in order to get some little peanuts. For instance, it's quite eye-popping to see, maybe if there's a government calendar or government almanac, you see this beautiful picture of this elegant stadium. Is Nigeria hosting World Cup? Why are we building this magnificent and elegant stadium? Go to, like he said, the next secondary school close to that stadium. You won't even see a beaten track where students can come out for recreation at break time. Where they come out to play is horrible. Then you build this magnificent stadium, you understand? So we don't want that anymore. Let us be the ones setting the agenda. Don't come and build wonderful stadium, build international conference center, bring all these people and then put them only in the conference center and back to the airport. And then I appreciate one American president, George Bush. When he came, he said, okay, we've done all the touring and everything. I now want to see a village. I've been dying to see what they call an African village. Take me there. You understand? And I know what he saw, wasn't that too pleasant, was it? So anyway, like you were talking about the SDGs. Hey! I was managing to bite my tongue as you were speaking. You know why? Because this is Nigeria that kept on and on. Like when we were coming up, we're like, oh, we can't wait for the year 2000. There'll be food for all. There'll be everything for everything by the year 2000. 2000 came and there was nothing for anybody except the politicians. You understand? And we were the ones who agreed to these Millennium Development Goals. We achieved none, not one. How can we, Nigeria as a country, not me, how can Nigeria now be saying you're involved in sustainable development goals? How can you sustain the non-development that you did? Or you're sustaining the ugliness? You understand? So for us to be talking of SDG when the world is talking about it,
when the MDG was not even
wonderful. The Millennium Development Goal, you missed all the goals. Then you want to sustain the missing goal. You understand?
Sustaining.
Let them call for United Nations. Nigeria has a real big contingent. Bring any document you sign and come back. Snap all these photographs. When you come back, go to the next school down the road from maybe a government house or anything. It's horrible. Go to the hospital, like you said, terrible. So what are you doing all this for? We can't continue this way. Don't sustain these goals that you have not been able to implement. Begin to look for one of them, even if it's going to be AIDS, HIV/AIDS. let it be the elimination of HIV/AIDS, you know, make that doable. Let's just say, okay, you know, by the year 2030, let it just be this one. Then we concentrate on it. That's what I would say.
Wow.
Another thing you talked about, if I can just chip in, is on wastage, because, you know, for me, I feel that there's an issue, very big issue, with the rule of law and crime and punishment. And for me, one solution, to my mind, in checking wastage is to pinpoint the actual, should I say, perpetrator, and make him
make an example of
make a good example of him. Let me say, for example, I mean, I'm not indicting that there are always dirty cops, there are always bad policemen and all that. So if you have a policeman who colludes maybe with somebody who wants to be overbearing or show I have all this money, I'm going to oppress my neighbor and have him locked up, you know, illegally, and then, you know, harass him, extort money from him and all that. When the person now sues, he's going to sue the Nigeria police. It's them that will fish out who was the IPO that did such and such a thing. You understand? So when you find it out, and the court rightly would judge and say, look, this was an illegal detention, this man suffered all this, pay him 10 million naira in compensation. Collect it from that policeman's pension. Clear it from his pension. So you have that at the back of your mind that, look, if I start messing up now, it's my pension ahead of me that's good. I have so much to lose, I'll sit up. But when you know it's government, police, the police is going to pay and all that, you will continue in these activities. Just like you said, people are waiting to steal because they know if you steal, pack as much as you can.
And the bigger you steal,
then you just return a little granite and go back with the rest and live large.
They call it plea bargain.
They bargain the little plea and carry the bargain home. So if we could get that out, look, crime and punishment, look, let there be some consequences, like he said. And also, that would, for me, that would be a perfect check of waste, because, listen, if I have to pay for, let it even be electricity, I will be very miserly in the way I turn on my air conditioner.
That's true. That's true. Come on. People, it's your turn to weigh in on these issues. What exactly should Nigeria be doing now? As a nation, what national resolutions should we be subscribing to? Do you agree with some of the ones that we have put forward, like wastage, like law and order? Like Mikki is talking about the point about insisting that law. I mean, there are consequences. There are consequences, and like Gabriel also said, they call one caller is here already. Let's see what he's got. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, are you there? All right, okay. I guess so many more itching to get on the line. The line's open, 08029938365. So what exactly would you want to see in Nigeria today? What exactly would you want Nigerian authorities to refrain from? What should they be embarking upon? We're trying to set an agenda. This is early January, and then we're saying, hopefully, that some of the things that we put on the table will be attended to before the mid-year. And so, what do you want on the table? What have you seen in the country that you're not comfortable with and you want to change? Let's have Eso Dudu. Eso Dudu is very regular, and you can trust that he will articulate some good points. Yeah, good evening, Eso Dudu.
KAFTANTV.
Yeah, good evening.
Imagine a beautiful world.
Imagine a beautiful world.
Imagine a beautiful 2025 with KAFTANTV. Yes, a very good evening to you, Mr. Dayo.
Good evening.
Good evening to our wonderful guest.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening to Mikki.
Mikki, yeah.
Happy New Year, sir.
Good evening and happy New Year to all of us, you and our esteemed listeners.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome.
Yes, national resolution, setting agenda for 2025. Yes, this is what I want the government to do. One, because the government should, as a matter of urgency and necessity, declare state of emergency on education. One. Two, they should declare state of emergency on the economy. Three, they should declare state of emergency on insecurity. Lastly, the government should declare state of emergency on agriculture and then make agriculture compulsory to be studied in all the level of education. Even the university should study agriculture. I think if the government can do this, 2025 will be a wonderful year.
All right.
Grant, not only on the policy statement that will not see anything to actually point out to.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Esodudu.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So it's your turn. Get on the phone. Tell us what you want. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Gabriel. I'm speaking from Sokoto.
Sokoto. Wow. How is the caliphate doing tonight?
We thank God, sir.
All right.
Sir, I want to subscribe to what
What?
I don't know, but you know, education for you by the year 2000 by late Salah Shagari, how was your meeting with him? He said it was written by to him or written for him by people. So you see, the leaders are just deceiving us. We should declare state of emergency in all sectors. There is a problem. There is need for us to face reality. This window dressing something, I think it should be done away with. Look at what happened in Ghana today. If care is not taking Nigeria didn't come together, we will continue like that. There is need for us to come together and do the change. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that was from Sokoto, the seat of the caliphate. It means that KAFTANTV is reaching all the nooks and crannies of this great country and trying to create the change that we also all so very yearn, all of us do so very yearn for. And so you also can make that call right now, just like this person is doing. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, God bless you. This is Dayo Omoogun calling from Djibouti.
You're very excited. How is Ijebode tonight?
Yes, fine. Djibouti is very good and calm.
So tell us, what would you want to see in the Nigeria of 2025?
Nigeria in 2025, I want to see the energy sector has improved tremendously. You see, the way they bring light for us these days is not a fallacy. And that's what I've been hindering me from calling you every day. I love your program. The very first time I watched you, I thought, but because of power failure every time, they should improve tremendously. And what I want in this country is that the cost of governance should be reduced to the PRS. Not only that, the number of ministers should be reduced. And any minister that doesn't perform to our expectation should throw the way out of office. All those are the best who are money, they should be probed. If they are guilty, they should be prosecuted. The money should be removed from them and used it to revamp our economy. Not only that, I want to see Nigeria whereby the petroleum CNS is sold for 200 naira and many more. And I want Nigeria where we'll be praying every time for the revival of this country. I pray that this country is revived. Not only that, your station will continue to be the best and you receive the best television station of your television.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ogunaike. Thank you so much. Such beautiful wishes for KAFTANTV there. Now, you just heard him.
Hello?
Wow, all right. Good evening. It's a rush this evening.
It is.
Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hello?
How you doing?
Hello?
The world can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello?
He can't
Wow,
hear you.
that's a problem.
Just take another
That's
go.
a problem. That's a problem. Tonight Nigerians are speaking. Nigerians are very interested in this, and they're saying, please, this man just said, let's have energy. Someone's here already. Hello, good evening. Yeah, good evening. I can hear you. Dear little one, I can hear you. Oh no. All right, that was one little child there who also had something to say apparently. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Hi.
Great, and yours?
My name is Attah. I'm calling from Warmate.
All right, Wafi people, how are they? Yeah.
We are fine. Oh.
Okay.
I was not even expecting to see you on line today.
All right.
I'm for a program, and you are still on live at this age. Is a lesson for the younger ones to wake up.
All right, that's all we do.
Yeah. And the program they are presenting cut across every one of us has a responsibility to play for 2030. And one of the areas coming in is our education sector.
All right.
And it is very, very wrong if a teacher who is teaching in a public and the children are attending private, the teacher should be sacked.
You might, I mean, do you get that?
Of course.
It is hard.
Mm.
Because how can you teach aside and your children are going in a private school, meaning you're a good teacher. Imagine a pastor whose son is attending another church.
Whose family attend another church? Wow.
Congregation.
Mm.
A pastor of the church, a CEO, then the son and the wife attend other church, then you'll be pastoring other family. What kind of message will it preach?
Hmm.
So what I'm trying to say, to make our education sector work is very simple.
All right.
Please, all civil servants, whether teacher or you are working in, if your child is not going to government school, you should be sacked.
All right.
Because if we do it this way, when the reform comes, if you come to the person in the Commission of Education and the children is attending government school, they will pay attention. But
Sure.
when they spend money on all their children in private school, what do you expect the common man to do?
Sure do.
They will still to put the child in the same private school. So please let us look at that area. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Now you heard that.
I told you. It's about, see, everything is centered around the SDG. This education they're talking about is SDG goal number 4.
Wow.
Quality
Tonight,
education.
Right.
Right?
do you mind?
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
You're welcome to the show.
Yeah, my name is Awus from Kaduna.
Awusko. You know I like your name all the time.
Thank you very much, my brother.
How's Kaduna tonight?
That's fine.
Great, great.
Happy New Year and everything.
Yeah, same to you, my brother.
You see, I want the federal government to stop over dependence on oil.
Mm.
Go and play this country tremendously in the areas of other mineral resources. All over the country, there are mineral resources. Every state is blessed with 1 or 2 mineral resources. The federal government should lay emphasis on this, on mining this mineral resources, so that oil will not be the fulcrum of our economy. We can get this gold, lithium, all other things, so that our economy will continue to grow. And I also want the government in the area of power energy, what emphasis should be laid on solar energy. You know, God has blessed this country with enough sunshine. We should take advantage of this. We should not be depending on only one source of power. is not good enough. And also, in the area of small-scale businesses, I want bank of industries, SMEDA, and all others, so that government will give youth who have ideas, who have innovation, who have invention, to come up and develop this. Small business is what making United States, China, Japan to grow.
All right. All right, Awusko.
The political reform, the fifth annex, fix the judiciary, so that we have power to vote people we want. Thank you very much.
Awusko, what's the full meaning of Awusko?
My full name is Auto Peter. So my sub request is Awusko.
Awusko, I really love Awusko, you know. Enjoy. Regards to your family.
Yeah. You know,
Bye-bye. Have a great new year.
Have you noticed that there's a common thread in what people are saying?
There
and
is.
like you said, it all even boils down to, I mean, why do we have to be a signatory to what we know we're not going to implement? Why don't we just sit back in the empire and do what we're going to do in the empire?
and be ourselves.
We're talking about infrastructure.
Let's get back to this.
About this
let's get back to this after this break.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want wider patronage of your goods and services?
Do you want your goods and services to have traction?
Do you desire to make more sales and increase your return on investment?
KAFTAN TV has got you covered because you can achieve all this with reasonable amounts of money.
With modest charges, we are the best around here for advertising and product promotion.
Whatever you want to say it for us on KAFTAN TV.
We are a global multimedia platform aimed at positioning the African viewpoint
on Startimes channels 480 and 124 and free-to-air NIGCOMSAT channels 12518, symbol rate 29500.
With crystal clear digital signals, we reach no fewer than 54 million viewers around the world. For advert bookings and sponsorship of programs, please call
Silas on 081 615 19559, Khadija on 070 713 72115, or Ruben on 080 234 47703.
KAFTAN TV.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still on to Matters Arising, coming to you live from the Abuja studio of KAFTAN TV, King Adebayo Film and Theatre Network TV, Theatre Arts Network TV. And we've been talking about the national resolution. As people have private, personal resolutions, there should be a national resolution as to what we want to do and what we want to refrain from doing this year. And that's what we've been talking about, and Nigerians are calling from all over the place and making their inputs. I have a caller even as we speak, and as I take this, I want you to get ready so that after this we weigh in. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
You're welcome, madam.
I come from
You need to cut down the volume of your set. Wow.
Okay. My name is Kelechi.
Can we take the first step first by cutting down the volume of the TV?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, we can hear you better now.
Okay. I come from River State.
Yeah, and your name is what?
Kelechi.
Kelechi Kekodi. All right, go ahead, please.
Kelechi.
Yeah, we heard you. Go on.
Okay. So, what I want to government come first.
What did you say? Subsidy, like something subsidy.
Fuel.
Yeah.
Because my sister children are not going to school because of transportation.
All right, your point is well taken.
Fuel.
Yeah, fuel. You want?
Let government help and
put the price that they are not going to school again because of pressure.
That's the second person who's talking about fuel. Somebody said before that if they can bring the price to 200
Absolutely.
naira. Yeah.
There are so many people that can't go out again.
Thank you very much, Kelechi.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you. Yeah, government is watching, government is listening, and we do hope that actions will be taken in this direction. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to speak on the issue of my resolution. My suggestion on the resolution of the national resolution is that I want the government.
That will be hello, sir. Hello, sir. That will be after your name and your location. Thank you.
I am Solomon from Kaduna.
Oh, Solomon, the wise one. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I actually want to call on the government to declare state of emergency on corruption, because corruption is one of the most negative thing that is bringing Nigeria backward. Then secondly, I want Nigeria to also to declare state of emergency on this to declare, to make a law that will back up the distributions of institutions, parastatals, and the agency in all the state of the government, the federation, especially in this east state. We have three senatorial districts, but you find out that most of these establishments are always side on one side based on who is in government. For example, in Kaduna South, in the northern part of Kaduna South, Alzaria, all the federal institutions, all the federal agencies and parastatals, they are all parked in Zaria, while the southern part has none. So if there should be a law to guide that, I think there will be, in fact, it will go right. So these are my suggestions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You know, something like this, talking about federal character, for example, that has been jettisoned. Nobody follows federal character.
That is SDG goal number 16.
Imagine.
Strong justice.
Right.
And fairness.
That's even what makes it so annoying, because these SDGs, you know, they're just like you to just pick and take a blueprint. Don't even crack your brain.
Yes,
follow the blueprint. And then they've given you a manual, not just the blueprint, a manual. For instance, now, every country signatory to the United Nations has it that the minimum you're going to assign to your budget at any budgetary cycle, maybe for education, should not go below 35%. Nigeria has never attained to it. Yeah. State by blessed state, nation, even at the national level, never attained to it, and without any consequences for that. Okay, but consequences on ground, because you go to a school and you find a teacher who hasn't been paid for 8-9 months.
That's correct.
Yes.
How does she possibly get to the school to teach? What will she be teaching? Then you get into the classroom and they're like 80 students to one teacher.
Class.
What's the teacher to student ratio? That means nothing. It's just a blowout. And then you're not even addressing even the Nigerians themselves, saying, listen, you ought to have the size of the family that you yourself can cater for. Then we, the government, will play our own part by providing the amenities, you know, that is commensurate to what you deserve.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one area, I like the point that you just made. And one thing that needs to be done is enforcement, because I remember that under IBB, Babangida regime, there was this proposal or a policy that, was enunciated as asking, maybe advising, because I didn't really see enforcement, that every family should be limited to 4 children per woman. But you see, there's an escape route in that kind of policy.
I know.
Because if you say per woman, it then means that somebody can have 20 wives.
I know.
And then 4 children.
For the first in history, they will incorporate women into policy, and that's the one that will favor the men.
I think that we must get more serious with that kind of policy. Turn it around and say per family, and enforce it. Yeah. So let's see what this guy's got. Hello. Oops. Okay. So
now, see, when you see, that's why the day I picked the SDG, the goals and the indicators, and I read through it, I asked myself, I cannot be a local government chairman and be asking for blueprint.
I know.
No,
it's there.
It's there.
Everything is laid out.
The annoying thing is that Nigeria signed. Every state has a focal office. Every local government, 774 local government has a desk officer. But nothing is attended to. I reported at a school that my governor descended on me for reporting. As a journalist, my duty is to report. Nothing more than that. I did not insult him, neither did I insult the past or present. All I said, SDG goal number 4. be done here, be seen to be achieved here. But I was vindicated when the presidency had to, boycott the state and intervene and build a school. So what I'm saying in essence is, all of these things is very small. The people at the rural community don't even need much. So moving forward, can the government maybe quarterly put together people to monitor, evaluate for compliance of the policy or whatever program we have decided to do every 3 months, 4 months, well, so that we can know whether we are on making progress.
Right. Let's do this. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Yakubu Yusuf from Manguno local government of Borno State.
Wow, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. So, my advice about the federal government is, that majority local government is nearest to the poor people, those people that interested that have need help. So, it's the federal government to try to remove give them the money direct, their grant direct to the local government account, not to the state government. Secondly, the price of petrol is too high. So all these things that you are seeing, if to say no, Nigeria is no return subsidy, people are continuous suffering. It's progressive country that used to remove subsidies. It's not like corrupted country like Nigeria.
Nigeria is progressive all the same. Yeah, thank you, Yusuf. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, you made your point. Thank you. Nigeria is a progressive country, please. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Are you hearing me?
Clearly.
My name is Perfect.
I didn't get that.
Hello, can you hear me?
Your name is what?
My name is
Olanrewaju.
I'm calling from Kaduna.
You can't just be Olanrewaju now. Or you want me to
Olanrewaju Yusuf.
Better. Okay, you're calling from Kaduna. So many of you are calling from Kaduna tonight. That's great. Kaduna is the winner of on the calls list. Yeah, so let's have your take.
You see, the problem of this great country, this is a very great country, is that our leaders have totally lost focus. You keep somersaulting policy, and you know these policies are not working. You keep repeating the policy. Mr. A failed, Mr. B failed, you still brought in the policy. What is the essence of you? You know the subsidy before you know the challenge in the refinery. These are policies that people have tested in other countries before now, and they know it is not workable. They reverse the fact that why is it that Nigeria they are not working with the research country on policy they've tried before and it's not working.
Okay.
You guess that in the middle there that was talking the other time. He made mention of a lot of things about what the minister
help your viewers and listeners to enjoy what you're saying by cutting down the volume of your set. You're doing well, but you need to
because you see the minister of FCT. I want to give an example with the minister of FCT.
Yeah.
He was just busy demolishing people's houses, demolishing infrastructure. Do you know that even in the whole of the FCT there is no any hospital that is owned by because FCT itself is a state on its own. If people don't understand.
That's a sweeping statement and it's not correct. There are general hospitals in Kubwa, in Zuba, in several places. No, that's not very perfectly true. But I guess.
He privatized in the sense that let me tell you now.
Go
now we are sharing ideas.
Yes, go on.
Abi?
Yes.
We are sharing ideas now. You want people to suggest.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Go on, sir.
Okay. How many hospitals facilitated by government that is running at 100%. How many state-owned public schools that have infrastructure place for them to achieve 70% quality of education? Go to the university here. That is the center of Nigeria. You brought policies that are not working. You remove subsidy. People are there. We are talking to you about price control. Mr. President can come on board and say he does not believe in price control. Where the same politician will go and carry food and buy food and hide the food in the house. After 3 months, the food will increase. After 6 months, the food will increase. Do you know how much they are selling foreign spaghetti in the market?
Wow. Olariwaju, you can go on and on and on.
Do you know how much they are selling Nigerian spaghetti in the market? Do you know how much they are selling foreign rice? Do you know how much they are selling Nigerian rice in the market?
All right. Olariwaju,
So
we would need to.
Government don't want to bring that policy that will sustain the masses than the policy that is going to enrich the people. The rich, just the so-called elite. Why don't we know that all these things we are gathering one day we will die?
Thank you so very much, Olariwaju. Wow.
My brother, good night.
Good night, my brother.
So the idea, like you said, is setting the agenda. Set the agenda for 2025, not interrogating with it.
My name is Ebuka.
Ebuka.
I am calling from Enugu State.
All right. Welcome, Ebuka.
Yeah, I want to address the issue of Nigeria. Control about where subsidies where the fuel is too high. I want the president to reduce the fuel amount so that people will benefit from it, are able to afford it.
All right.
Also, issue of practice, corruption, issue of police and army. Some in Nigeria we now have security. Also, police and nephew they need to collect price. I want the president to address the issue of price in this Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much, Ebuka. Oh, also, okay, let's take this final also, yeah?
Yes. I want the president to issue of car attitude over speedy. I want the president to tell the governors of each state to put a traffic light so that people will be able to travel the expressway to reduce their speed, not be increase their speed to higher to be cutting attitude always.
All right, Ebuka, thank you very much. Emailer, very plenty. We need to go. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
So you can see that the program, from my calculation now, we have gotten calls from east, west, north, northeast, northwest.
Basically 3 minutes to go.
Yeah. So it means that all that we are talking cuts across every sector, every political zone. And I beg the president, please, I beg you, achieve the sustainable development goal.
And that's it.
Strikena.
All right. Embedded in the sustainable development goals are almost everything that we have articulated, including what our callers have talked about. So maybe my submission also will be, Mr. President, National Assembly, can we work together, and state government, the subnationals, can we work together to ensure that the sustainable development goals are
achieved?
Okay. Well, my submission, I think, will just ride on the fact that for us to be able to achieve goals, let us be able to assess our progress. Don't just come at the beginning of 4 years, this is what I'm going to do. At the end of every 4 years, this is the budget we're going to keep spending. And then at the end, you now say, oh, now I want to come for a re-election because you see I built some certain thing. No, let's have, like you said, maybe quarterly. It's going to be half a year. Some, measurable, attainable, you know, visible plan that we are following. That way we already know if we are able to see if we're on track or if we're deviating, to push ourselves back on track so that we achieve what we set out to. That's my suggestion.
And so from me, Dayo Omoogun, it's good night.
Good night.
Good night.
And as we say at KAFTAN TV, imagine
a beautiful